This video is going to be about function composition. The basic idea in function composition is taking the output of one function and using it as the input of another function. So in this example, we have one function f, where we input a number and out comes an output of 5, and we use the 5 as the input in g. Now let's look at how we actually evaluate these and how we write it. Here's my function f of x equals 3x plus 1, and my function g of x equals 2x minus 4. And now we want to find f of g of 3. So we start this out by evaluating first just g of 3, which will be 2 times 3 minus 4. So g of 3 equals 6 minus 4. G of 3 equals 2. So now that we know that g of 3 equals 2, it's the same thing as 2, I can take that 2 and put it back where we used to have the g of 3. So now we're going to be doing f of 2 instead of f of g of 3. So now I use just my f function. So I now have f of 2 equals 3 times 2 plus 1. So f of 2 equals 6 plus 1, 7. Now that you've seen the whole process, I'm going to get rid of some of this so that I can just write it out. So we now know that f of g of 3 equals 7. So that would be our final answer. Let's look at another example. Here we have two new functions. Now f of x equals 1/2 times x plus 1, and g of x equals x plus 4. And this time we're looking to find f of g of 0. And again, this means plug 0 into g, find the output, then use that output as the input into f. So let's see that in action again. Now again, my first step is going to be to plug 0 into g of x. So g of 0 is going to be 0 plus 4. So g of 0 equals 4. Now I take that 4 and go back up here and replace my g of x with 4. So now I'm going to do f of 4, and that's going to be using my f of x function. So that's 1/2 times 4 plus 1. So f of 4 equals 2 plus 1. F of 4 equals 3. So now I can say that f of g of 0 equals 3, since that was my answer over here. Now sometimes you're not actually given an input. In these cases, we're just given f of g of x, and we want to find a new function that actually is just f of g of x. So our answer, rather than being a number, will be an expression or a function. So if you input a variable like x, the output will still have a variable in it. So let's look at how this will work. In this case, we're actually just taking g of x and we're going to plug it in to x in f. So basically what we're going to be doing is f of, and then I'm going to put my g of x in here, negative 2x plus 1. Now the next step, so here that's where I got the negative 2x plus 1. The next step is going to take this whole expression and replace the x in f of x. So we're going to take, so f of x is 3, and then we have x, so that's where I'm going to put my negative 2x plus 1. Then I still have that minus 1 in f. Now I need to distribute and simplify, so this 3 distributes to both parts inside the parentheses. So I have negative 6x plus 3 minus 1. Combine like terms, my 3 and my negative 1. So it equals negative 6x plus 2. So f of g of x equals negative 6x plus 2. And that again is my final answer because I'm not looking for a number. I just want to rewrite it as a new function. So negative 6x plus 2. Let's look at one more example. This time we have two new functions, a new f and a new g. And I'm still looking for f of g of x. So again, the basic idea here is that I'm actually doing f of 1/2 x minus 3 because that is g of x. So we have g of x and then we just changed it out to what g of x equals. So now I take this expression and replace the x with it. So f of 1/2 x minus 3 is going to equal, well, we have 8, and then here comes our x, so that's where I put 1/2 x minus 3, and then we still have the minus 6. So now I, again, distribute and simplify. So 8 times 1/2, that gives me 4x. 8 times a negative 3 is a negative 24. And then we still have our minus 6. So I combine like terms. Negative 24 minus 6 is a negative 30. So my answer is 4x minus 30. So f of g of x equals 4x minus 30. So for the rest of homework, I would like you guys to try the following. We have two functions here. F of x equals 3x plus 1. And g of x equals 2x minus 4. And I would like you to do f of g of 0, then g of f of 0. So you're just going to do f of 0 first in the second one, whereas in the first one you would do g of 0 first. And then the third one, I want you to give me f of g of x. So remember, in this one, your answer will still have a variable. Good luck.